The founding of Ile Ife, a prominent city in the southwestern Nigeria, has been a subject of intrigue and debate. Traditionally considered the cradle of the Yoruba civilization, Ile Ife holds a special place in the cultural and historical identity of the Yoruba people. However, as with many ancient histories, the origins of this city are intertwined with myths, oral tradition, and various historical claims. While Yoruba mythology attributes the founding of Ile Ife to Oduduwa, there are other narratives suggesting that the Igbo people were the first to inhabit the region before the arrival of Oduduwa and his people. This report will dive into these varying perspectives, provide insights into the myths surrounding the founding of Ile Ife, and explore the significance of the city in a broader context of Nigeria history, Yoruba mythology, and the founding of Ile Ife. According to Yoruba mythology, the origins of Ile Ife are firmly linked to the figures of Oduduwa, who is considered the father of Yoruba people. The Yoruba oral traditions describe Oduduwa as a divine being sent by the gods to create the earth and establish order among the people. He is believed to have descended from the heavens and landed in Ile Ife, where he began the process of civilization. The Yoruba myth goes further to suggest that Oduduwa was given the task of creating the world by supreme deity Olodumare. Upon arriving in Ile Ife, Oduduwa is said to have started his reign by laying down the foundations for the establishment of Yoruba kingdoms. As the forefather of Yoruba people, he is considered the founder of many Yoruba kingdoms that later spread across Nigeria, Benin, and Togo. His descendants, known as the Oonis of Ife, are revered as spiritual leaders and custodians of Yoruba culture. This narrative is well entrenched in Yoruba culture, and the city of Ile Ife itself is regarded as the spiritual and cultural center of the Yoruba people. As such, the Yoruba people sees Ile Ife as the birthplace of their civilization, and Oduduwa's establishment of the city is central to the historical identity. The Igbo perspective. While the Yoruba mythology has widely influenced the understanding of the founding of Ile Ife, alternative perspectives suggest that the Igbo people were the original inhabitants of the area before the arrival of Oduduwa and the Yoruba. The Igbo people, known for their rich cultural history, have their own narratives regarding the early history of Nigeria. Some accounts claim that the Igbo people lived in the region surrounding Ile Ife long before the Yoruba settlers arrived. These accounts suggest that the Igbo had settled in the area and built a vibrant society with a highly developed system of governance and spiritual practices. One prominent narrative associated with Igbo perspective connects the history of Ile Ife to a figure known as Obatala, an Igbo king. According to this account, Obatala is said to have founded the Owu Empire, which is intertwined with the history of Ile Ife. The Owu people are said to have been one of the groups that initially settled in Ile Ife before the Yoruba migration. While this particular account is not widely accepted, it provides a glimpse into the diverse perspectives surrounding the origins of the city. The Owu Empire and Obatala. The Owu Empire holds significance in understanding the historical ties between the Igbo people and Ile Ife. The Owu people were believed to have once ruled a kingdom located near Ile Ife. The role of Obatala, as mentioned earlier, is central to some narrative that suggests an Igbo presence in Ile Ife prior to Yoruba migration. Obatala is a prominent figure in both Yoruba and Igbo cosmologies, albeit with different roles in each tradition. In Yoruba tradition, Obatala is one of the Orishas, deities, and is considered a creator god and the patron of wisdom, fairness and justice. However, in some Igbo traditions, Obatala is depicted as a king or ruler, further blurring the lines between Yoruba and Igbo history and suggesting that both groups may have had interactions or shared cultural influences long before the Yoruba migration. While the connection between Obatala and the Owu Empire is debated, the facts remains that the Owu Empire played a significant role in the history of Ife region. The rise and fall of Owu Empire, along with its compressed interactions with other ethnic groups, underscores the region's cultural diversity and its importance as a crossroads for various peoples in pre-colonial Nigeria. The complexity of Ile Ife's history. The history of Ile Ife is undoubtedly complex, shaped by the confluence of various cultures, mythologies, and historical events. It is essential to recognize that the founding of the city cannot be solely attributed to one group or one narrative. Instead, it reflects the convergence of multiple historical and cultural forces, including the Yoruba, Igbo, and other ethnic groups. The question of who originally founded Ile Ife is further complicated by the scarcity of written records. From the time period, much of the history of the region has been passed down through oral tradition, which often evolves over time and may reflect the interest and identity of the people telling the story. What remains clear, however, is that Ile Ife has served as a vital cultural and spiritual center for multiple ethnic groups over the centuries. It is considered by many as the birthplace of civilization in southwestern Nigeria and holds profound significance in the religious and cultural practices of the Yoruba people. The city is also home to some of the oldest, most impressive artistic and architectural achievements in Nigeria, including the famous Ife bronze heads, which are celebrated for their craftsmanship and artistic excellence. The significance of Ile Ife in Nigeria history. Regardless of various claims regarding its founding, Ile Ife's importance in the history of Nigeria cannot be overstated. It is recognized as one of the oldest and most influential cities in West Africa, with a rich cultural and religious heritage that has shaped not only Yoruba people but also the broader Nigerian and African identity. The city is often seen as a symbol of unity, serving as a center for various Yoruba kingdoms and a focal point for religious practices, including the worship of Orishas. The Ooni of Ife, the traditional ruler of the city, is revered as the spiritual leader of the Yoruba people, and the city continues to play a central role in the preservation of Yoruba traditions, customs, and beliefs. Moreover, Ile Ife's archaeological and cultural landmarks, such as the Olamiyan staff, the Ife bronze heads, and the scared groves, continue to draw attention from historians, anthropologists, and tourists, further emphasizing the city's enduring legacy. In conclusion, the founding of Ile Ife is a topic that reflects the rich and complex history of Nigeria. While Yoruba mythology placed the establishment of the city at the feet of Oduduwa, alternative narratives suggest that the Igbo people were the first to inhabit the region and may have even played a role in the early history of Ile Ife. Despite varying perspectives, what remains clear is that Ile Ife stands as an important cultural and historical site in Nigeria, revered by the Yoruba people and respected by many others. The city's significance extends beyond the debate about its founding, serving as a center of culture, religion, and history. The diverse narratives surrounding the city only highlight the intricate and layered history of the region, reinforcing the idea that the story of Ile Ife, like much of Nigerian's history, is one of shared experiences, interactions, and ongoing discovery.